Okay, so for this tutorial, I will go over how to kind of model the arm for the ClapTrap. And just a heads up that it will be somewhat of a free-flowing tutorial because the reference photo, it gives us a good idea of what the proportion is, but it's not really a good idea of how they are connected, really, how the arms are connected. I can kind of see them, but not really. So I will kind of make up my own sort of connection points like here and here as I go around this tutorial. So just follow along if you like. And once you kind of get the base concept of modeling some of these parts, you can come up with your own connection points if you want. Okay? Sounds good. So let's get into it. Um, Let me turn that back on. So I already kind of blocked out the arms here, so you should have something like this as well. And we're only modeling on one arm and we'll mirror them over later. So let's split them. Yeah? To split, go to mesh and make sure your arm is selected and hit separate. Now you can do the same thing down here. Mesh, separate, mesh, separate, separate, and separate. Okay. Now you have your arm. And if your axis is in whirl and you can't really move things properly, you can set it to object, and you can kind of move it along the way of which it's oriented. So that's pretty handy. So all right, let's get to modeling this little guy. First of all, let me turn this back on and go to front view, and you can see here that this upper portion is a little bit bigger than the smaller portion. So I am going to do that. Oops, sorry. Turn that back on. 5. And to do that, I'm just going to select the edge loop, the multi-cut tool, and place a loop around here or so. And I am going to select the loop around it and do an extrude. So extrude, and just, maybe nothing like too crazy. So that's entirely too big, so I'm just going to go to 0.03. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then I'm going to select the edge around the new bigger upper arm that we just extrude, and I'm just going to move that up slightly like that. Again, I'm not following the reference 100%. I kind of want to make my own arm design. So again, if you're following along, doing this is great, but have fun with it. Make up your own design. So up here, I want to, sorry, I kind of skip ahead there. So up here, I kind of want to make it a little bigger, like the reference here. You see his arm get a little chunkier up top. So I will do that. 5 key, bring up my shaded view, multi-cut tool, hold down control to add a loop around here. And I'm going to go to face mode, double click click 1, then hold down shift and you see the little plus sign up here, and double click the face next to it to select the edge loop. Then do an extrude, this button right here, extrude, and then thickness, again, 0.1 by default is too big. I'm going to go with 0.5. Well, 0.05, sorry, right here. And that looks okay. I'm not mad at it, so let's keep it that way. Okay? To object mode, and done. So the last thing we need to do with this upper arm part is the connection down here. So to do that, I'm actually going to move this ball out of the way. And I am going to make a little connection. And to do that, I'm just selecting, again, this upper arm here. And I am going to, again, place another edge loop using the multi-cut tool. Let's place it right here. Yeah. Do it again, select one, and then I'm going to go to face mode, select one face, then hold down shift, then double click to select all the face loops. Extrude, again, shift, right mouse button for extrude, and if you don't like that, it is up here. Click extrude, and play with the thickness. I'm going to settle for, that's entirely too big. So again, 0.03 seems to be working so far for us, so we'll keep that value. Yeah, that was pretty good. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to edge mode and select this loop here, and I'm going to scale it down like so. That. And I am going to put here another edge loop, like maybe something like that. Okay? Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to go to face mode, and I'm going to face mode and hit Q to get out of your multi-cut tool. And I'm going to select these faces here, these 4 faces. And then I'm going to select the faces on the opposite side as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Go down here, go to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And then I'm going to do an extrude face thickness. Let's do 0.15. Is that too long? Maybe too long. 0.12. That's better. All right, and that is going to be sort of my connection point for the lower arm. Okay. Now I am pretty much done with the shape for the upper arm, and again, you can do more things to it if you want. Like you can add more edge loop here and here using the maybe a little further down like that, and like select these faces right here, and then do an extrude, and then play with thickness, and then play with the offset. 0.03, like so. Or you can just hit R and scale them down, and then hit W, go to component, and like move it in to kind of create some kind of bump and things like that should you want to, but it's all up to you and how you want to design your very own ClapTrap robot. Okay, so to leave it like that. Okay, and again, you can do more to this stuff too. You can select like the face loop here and do an extrude, and then do keep faces together off and play with the offset. This will be a very small number, like 0.01. That's still too big, so 0.005. Yep, that looks pretty good here. Then do another extrude and grab the blue handle here and drag them in, so you can have like this sort of detail in your arm if you want, but again, it's up to you on how to model your very own ClapTrap. Going to undo that. I don't like that detail, so there you go. Let's keep that, and then let's move on to the this section of the model. So this one, I will do a this lower forearm here. I can move it up a little bit so that it lines up with what we have before a little better, like so. And again, it won't line up 100%, but we can always rotate this so that um, you know, this gap lines up with wherever this arm is going. So we can fix that later. All right, so let's model this arm, and it looks like this has sort of a bigger extrusion here. So I'm going to do that. Use the multi-cut tool, hold down Control, something like this, and select again, go to face mode, select the face, then hold down Shift and click the face next to it to select the whole loop. Then do an extrude right here and play with the thickness. 0.1 maybe, 0.05. Oh, sorry, I have to press this first. 0.05. I feel that it's still a bit too big, probably. So I'm just gonna scale it at 0.035. Yeah, that feels a little better to me. Okay. So that's that, and then I'm going to go in to select that and kind of angle myself so I can see this face here, and go to face mode. Make sure your camera base selection is on. You can draw a marquee to select all the faces, right? Then do an extrude face, and I'm going to actually scale it down just a bit, like so. And then I'm going to do another extrude, just pull that through the gap here. That might be a bit much, so hit W and just kind of move it back until it's something like that. Okay? So that is sort of your connection joint for the ClapTrap arm. Okay? And again, play with this idea if you want to have sort of a ball socket type thing where, you know, the hole is like this, and the cylinder is slotted in there, and that's your joint. That's fine too, but again, do what you want, just as long as it's not just a ball with cylinder, like, you know, going in and out of it. All right, and I'm just going to delete that ball. And please remember to save your files as you're working, because we don't want your files to crash. So just hit Control S to save. All right, and then let's see what's going on with the bottom end of this robot arm is, and it looks like it's a little again, another like ball thing, and then that looks to me like it's a ball socket with two finger arm things sticking out of it. I might actually try to do what they have here. So let's see. Let's see how we are progressing, and we will see. So I'm going to select this lower arm and select again the multi-cut tool. Hold down Control, and let's add a edge loop right about there. Go to face mode, select one face, then hold down Shift, move to the face next to it, and double click. That will select your whole loop. All right? Then do an extrude here. Play with thickness. It is too big again, so let's do 0.05. I like that. That's good for me. Now this will be a little different. We're going to make sure your camera base selection is on for this selection. Go to face, grab all the faces here, hit W, and make sure it's under component. Wonder if object works. Object will also work, but just to make sure it's under component. And pull this out like so. and scaled it up just a little bit, like so. Okay, and go back to face. Should already be selected. Grab your faces like that. I'm going to do another extrude. Offset again will be a pretty small value, so 0.03. That's too small actually, 0.01. Let's do 0.008. There you go. That's fine. And then do another extrude. Hit W and just grab the red handle here and move it back. So, and that will be your sort of like connector thing there. Okay. Now, with this ball thing here, I am going to move them in here, move it in. And if you're having trouble kind of lining up your ball to your, like, where is the hole, you know? Scale it down first, because obviously it's too big. And hit the 4 key to bring up wireframe mode. And you can see here, that's the center of our like intrusion thing that we just did. You can hold down the V key. Sorry, make sure you're in W, hit W for move tool, then you can hold down the V key and hover over the middle circle here and middle mouse button down and just kind of snap it. See if I can do it. See if I can do it. There you go. And you can turn on shaded with wireframe mode by, again, shaded view is 5, and then wireframe mode is this little button here. Turn it on now to see the wireframe on top. All right, so now the ball is like perfectly in the center of this hole. I can scale it up just a little bit and rotate it so that its axis align a little better. I'm just gonna move it out like so. You might have to move it, finagle it around just a little bit. That looks pretty good. I'm actually going to scale the ball down just a little bit because I think the widest point of the ball needs to be out here somewhere. So I'm just gonna scale it down and move it around just slightly. There you go. That looks pretty good. The next thing we're going to do is the finger here, and let's tackle that. Yeah. So this is pretty straightforward. I think what I will do is I will make one finger, and then I will copy that finger and scale it down and attach it there. So let's do that. So to do that, I have this finger already made from the block-in, so I'm just going to work on this finger, okay? So first thing first is I'm looking at this and I see these two lines here, and that's to sort of give it the finger kind of a more soft curve here instead of a straight line. So I'm going to do the same thing for my finger. So to do that, I'm going to select the multi-cut tool and just place two edges roughly here and here. Again, these that, you know, you don't have to follow the exact number of the edge loop, that yellow number here. Just, you know, whatever you have on your screen, make sure you place it somewhat like that. Then I'm going to go to edge mode and double click to select the edge loop. Hit R and make sure in this case that you're in object instead of component. And I'm going to scale it up like so. Maybe it's a bit too big, like so. And then do the same thing for the second one. Scale it up lightly. And then I'm going to go to face mode, select this bottom face, hit R and scale it down. And I'm just playing around with this until I kind of get a good feeling for the shape of the finger mitten thing. You know what? That looks okay. So I'm cool with that. So I'm just leave it be. All right. Control S to save again. And the next thing I'm going to do is I think I'm going to add a little bit of details to this finger. So to do that, I'm just going to select the bottom face here. And I'm going to do an extrude face. Offset, I'm going to type in a value of 0.03 maybe. Let's do a little bit smaller, 0.01. Perfect. And then I'm going to do another extrude. Click on that again. And then this time I'll do an offset of 0.01 again. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to hit Q to get out of that extrude menu and go to face mode and click and select this edge that's in this, this face loops that's in the middle here. Then I'm going to go to extrude, and in thickness I'm just going to type in 0.03 or maybe a little less, I don't know, 0.01. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so that just gives it a little detail, and we can add more details like horizontal grip thing, like, or whatever we want. So, but that looks good to me. I actually think that his hands feels a bit big, so I'm going to scale it down just a bit. And this way, scale it down just a little bit. Then move it back up so that it kind of lines up with our wrist a little better here. Move it up like so. No, I'm actually going to delete this one so I don't have to look at it. And now, next thing I'm going to do is sort of work on this piece here and kind of make the connection point, okay? So to do that, I am going to add two edges here and here. So I can go to multi-cut tool again, hold down Shift, Control and Shift to have the edge loop snap, and I'm going to place one at 50%, like so. Then I'm going to do another one at 50% on the right, and then 50% on the, see, make sure, yeah, 50% on the left, like so. Okay. Then I am going to place another one at, can't tell what that number is. So if this is 100%, place it 10% on either side, so 90%, one here and one here, then one here and one here, like so. Then I'm going to go back to edge mode, double click that middle edge here, and just hit delete edge to kind of get rid of those edges. Okay, and we can do some cleanup later too, but for the purpose of this class, this is fine. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is do an extrude. So go to face mode, select this face, and hold down Shift and right click, extrude face, and let's do thickness, something like this maybe. I'm just seeing what this is doing, and it's doing that. So I'm actually going to hit W and lower it down quite a bit. Yeah, so that looks okay. And during your modeling, and if your Maya scenes start to get like laggy, it is because you're building up these inputs. Then every button clicked is an input, and the more inputs you have, the heavier the scene becomes, and it'll start to get laggy. So one way to get kind of rid of that is make sure you drag and select your model, whatever it is that you're modeling. So make sure well, first make sure camera base selection is off, so you're selecting everything, and then go to Edit, Delete by Type, History. And after you do that, your machine should run a little faster. Alrighty, so let's keep going. Next thing we're going to do is select this piece. Next thing is I'm going to go to edge mode, select this edge and this edge, and you can select multiple edges again by selecting and holding down Shift to keep selecting more and more. And then hit the W key, and then make sure you're in object mode. And then I'm going to drag it. Oh, I think I accidentally select an extra edge. So again, just these two edges. W key, move it down like so. Okay. And then go back to your face mode. That, select both of your faces. Do an extrude face. And oops, sorry, that was not right. This would probably be a very small number, so 0.003. Nope, that's too small. 0.03. Yep, 0.03 just seems like to be working for us today, so that's what we're going with, 0.03. Then hit R on your keyboard to bring up the scaling, and you can scale these faces in a little bit if you want, but I think that's okay for me. So select these faces. Then you can do a bridge faces. That. Now you have your little handle. Okay, and it is the same issue we had with the 90-degree pipe. So it turns green there. Just gonna standard surface to kind of get rid of that. Now I am going to, so at this stage, you can see that this is two pieces joined together like this. So we can do this if we want, which I think I will show you how to do that, but it is perfectly fine if you want to leave it like this as well. So to kind of have this piece flowing in like this, go to your multi-cut tool, hold down Control, and again, put one in the center, then one over here, one over here, one here, okay, very good. Then we're going to just actually make it a little closer than that. So to do that, just select these two edges, R, just scale them until they kind of meet in the middle. So, oopsie, where did it go? There it go. Looks like my edges aren't mirror, so I'm just going to move it back out like that so that they're even. Then I'm going to do face extrude. That, select these two faces and hit W, just pull them up. Okay. And you see that one face is like bigger than the other, so we can tweak that. Move that in. That is some more or less the same width. So, and yeah, that's, you know what, this is fine. And if we want that gap in there, we can delete these faces and select edge. Actually, we gotta do one at a time. So select these, do a bridge, and select these and do a bridge to close that hole up. So now you have this kind of cool gap in the middle, for your finger to go through. So yeah, that's kind of how you model that finger. And then the next step is can just model another piece here. You can just model another kind of cube thing here, and then just have it attached via a like, oops, sorry, that. This is in a group, so I have to take it out of said group. That. I can rotate it around. Yeah. And you can kind of rotate it around here and move it up. Something like that. And then I am going to make these two pieces. So for that, I'm just making another cube. Just moving it over here. Scale it down. Scale it this way. Scale it that way. Rotate it this way. Rotate it that way. Get it more or less lined up with your finger. Move it over. Again, hold down V to snap. I'm just snapping it right there. Just rotating it and kind of making sure that this, oops, sorry, finger is aligned with this thing. Yeah. Scale it down a little more. Make it thinner. Take it this way. There you go. Move it over so that it's aligned. You can make it bigger, make it wider, something like that. Move it up. There you go. So now we can move this maybe back out a little bit. Give it some room. Then I apologize, someone's car is going crazy. So I will Control D to duplicate this. Scale it down. Scale it down this way. Then scale it out that way to have it going into the ball. Okay? Maybe I'll make it a little smaller. And that way. And that's sort of how you make your finger. So you can select everything here, hit edit, delete by type, history, and then go to mesh, combine. And now you can hit Control D to duplicate, and you can move it over. You can, go to object, but you'll notice that the axis is now like reset to the center, so you can hit D, hit W, then hold down the D key to kind of snap your vertices, like snap your control, and then go to component and make sure that it's set to orientation. Why is it not doing that? There you go. It's doing that. There you go. Just had to reset it. Then you can rotate it this way and scale it down just a little bit, and then you can move it in and move it forward until they're kind of in the same position. Yeah. Again, this is a simpler sort of hand because I don't want to make this tutorial go on forever. But again, you can see that's sort of a more more intricate detail in your ClapTrap's arm. And again, you can do more things with your ClapTrap model, but I'm so sorry that the car in the background is blaring the alarm, so I'm going to end the tutorial right here. I hope that was helpful. Please watch and rewatch and follow along as you can, and please email me, Discord with any question regarding the modeling technique I shown here, and I'm more than happy to answer y'all. Okay? Thank you.